future is now. And welcome to the SVK Crypto podcast. 15 minutes of crypto fame.
My name's Charles Storry. I will be your host for the next 15 minutes. We're coming live from the city of London. So let's get down to business. Today's Friday, the 23rd of February, 2018. And what a day it's been thus far. We have been so busy at SVK Crypto. I've been booking in interviews. I've been talking to a lot of people in the space. I've been talking about up-and-coming events we've got going on. We've got the event on the 27th. We have the London Crypto Investor Show on the 10th of March. And we have the host, the guy operating the whole thing, running it. His name is Patrick. He's going to be on the show Monday to give us a bit of insight into that. So that's very exciting. And on the 20th of March, we're looking to have our bigger type event. We're going to have a lot of interesting speakers from all around the world coming in to deliver and to tell us what's going on with their projects. So more information will be released on that, which is super exciting, and we're very excited to be announcing that in the next coming weeks. The market cap for the crypto space in the last 7 days has been something of interest. We saw the high on the 18th of February at 518 billion, going down to a low, which was today of 420 billion. And today it's been slowly climbing back up. And the current market cap for the crypto space is $453 billion. It's very interesting that we're seeing a lot of selling at the minute. And a lot of people still feel that we are not at the bottom of the market correction, which it's something I don't agree with. I think we're seeing a lot of selling at the minute because there's a lot of scaremongering in the market. There's a lot of negative press out there. I think a lot of positive press is starting to come through. A lot of different stories out there. I mean, and when I talk about press, I don't mean like CoinDesk or kind of, the crypto type channels. I'm talking about mainstream media, and that's kind of, I think that's really what you have to look at to see if there's negative or positive press coming out, because all of the crypto type news sites are all going to be positive because that's what they report on. So that's really interesting we're seeing there. And I really feel what we see is, the weekend is key for a lot of the volume coming through, because obviously a lot of people are working in the week. Comes the weekend, they start trading crypto sometimes they don't. But I've seen a couple of rallies take place in the last kind of 3 months over the weekend, where one weekend will literally bring in $60 billion worth of market cap into the market space. So it's interesting to see, to keep monitoring this and see what happens, and also to keep an eye on certain projects that you like. Maybe they've had an ICO. Maybe you didn't get the chance to go in because the ever-changing landscape hasn't allowed you to get the allocation that you required or would like. And now it's trading, down, 20%, right? This is the kind of a good opportunity to have conviction in the projects you like and put capital to work in those projects. So I really see this as an opportunity, and I think that's really key. Now, I think another key factor is not putting all your capital to work in one project, for example, having a diverse portfolio, having some cash on the side as well. So when the market comes down, you have the ability to get involved and take advantage of the prices at the lower levels. With that in mind, let's get on to the next part of the show.
Crypto News Flash. Crypto news stories from around the world.
Japan's exchanges report 669 cases of suspected crypto money laundering. Interesting story, let's jump into it. Japan's police agency has said it received 669 reports of suspected money laundering from a domestic cryptocurrency exchanges over 8 months in 2017. According to Japan's Nikkei Asia Review, the country's national police agency, the NPA, released a report on Thursday indicating the cases were reported from April to December of that year. As reported by CoinDesk, Japan passed a law in April of that year that recognizes Bitcoin as legal payment method and requires cryptocurrency exchanges to be licensed. The obligatory reporting of transactions suspect to be part of money laundering and drug trafficking was also made part of legislation in an effort to crack down on the use of cryptocurrency as a medium to facilitate illegal financial activities. While the NPA has not revealed the exact criteria used by exchanges to filter suspicious transactions, the data comes as part of a wider effort by Japan's regulators in probing cryptocurrency exchanges, following the heist of over $500 million worth of NEM tokens from CoinCheck in late January. Japan currently still has 16 cryptocurrency exchanges, including CoinCheck, that are yet to be fully approved by the financial watchdog of Japan. Japan's finance ministry said last week that it has ordered the agency to conduct on-site inspection over these unlicensed platforms. Let me know your thoughts on this story. It's an interesting one. Let's move on to the next one. Tezos head and board member step down. Platform prepares timely launch. Great story. Let's jump into it. So, the Tezos blockchain project may finally get underway after two board members of the Tezos Foundation, including its founder and president, Joanne Greaves, voluntarily stepped down and were replaced by Tezos community members, according to a press release published February 22nd. Newly appointed Ryan Jesperson and Michelle Morney joined Lars Hossman, appointed to the board on January 31st, right as the foundation prepares to launch the Tezos network. To serve the best interests of the Tezos project, Joanne Greaves and Diego Oliver Fernandez Pons have voluntarily offered to resign from the foundation board. They are committed to the success of the Tezos project and will continue to support its development towards a bright future. We thank both of them for their service, stated Jesperson in the press release. Michelle Morney is a dedicated member of the community as well. In addition to serving on the board at Tezos, he is a senior researcher at the French Science and Technology Institution, INRA, in the field of programming languages. In July 2017, Tezos' initial coin offering, ICO, gained extreme popularity among crypto investors excited about the Tezos project and the coin's potential. They donated Ethereum and Bitcoin to the project in exchange for the platform's native tokens called Tezos. However, following the wildly successful $232 million ICO raise, one of the largest ICOs to date, a dispute arose between Arthur and Kathleen Brightman, the creators of the project, who own Tezos intellectual property rights, and Grievers, who controlled the raised funds. This led to an indefinite delay of the platform launch and a series of lawsuits against the company. Jesperson supported the Brightmans and in their dispute with Greaves, who helped form the T2 Foundation, which intends to breathe new life into the project and obtain control from the original foundation and finally launch the Tezos network. Earlier this month, the US Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, declined to provide information on Tezos when it was requested by attorney David Silver via the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. Silver represents plaintiffs in a lawsuit against the company, November 2017. During a conference at UCLA, February 17th to the 18th, Kathleen Brightman announced the platform and tokens would be launched in the next few weeks. Let me know your thoughts. I guess it's very tough if you invested in Tezos and the price of Ethereum was at $200, and now the price of Ethereum's at $800. So you've lost out on that ride up, and now you're not really sure what's going on with the tokens, if you're going to receive them when they're coming. So let me know your thoughts on that story. Let's jump on to the next one. Turkey, Iran to release state-backed cryptocurrency on heels of Venezuela's Petro. Interesting story. The government of Turkey and Iran are both considering developing their own government-backed digital cryptocurrency, following on the heels of the February 20th pre-sale of Venezuela's national oil-backed Petro coin. On 21st of February, a day after the Petro's launch, Iran's Ministry of Information and Communications Technology tweeted that Iran's Post Bank is working on releasing a cryptocurrency. In a meeting with the board of directors of Post Bank on digital currencies based on the blockchain, prescribed measures to implement the country's first cloud-based digital currency. February 22nd, 2 days after the Petro's launch, Middle Eastern news outlet AI Monitor reported that Turkey's Nationalist Movement Party, MHP, deputy chair and former industry minister Ahmet Kenan is publicly considering launching a national Bitcoin called the Turk coin, described in this 22-page report on regulating the crypto market. The report comes 2 weeks after a February 7th CNN Turk interview of Turkey's Deputy Prime Minister, Mehmet Sems, where he mentioned that the government would be preparing to release a national cryptocurrency. Last November, the Iranian Cyberspace Authority, the High Council of Cyberspace, the HCC, welcomed Bitcoin and announced that they were working with the Central Bank of Iran on a report on cryptocurrencies on February 21st. The Central Bank of Iran said it was actively working on a way to control and prevent cryptocurrencies in Iran. Turkey's government had previously taken a harsh stance on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies when lawmakers from the Directorate of Religious Affairs, the DINAD, said in November 2017 that trading crypto was not compatible with Islam due to its speculative nature and lack of government control. However, AI Monitor have said since that there is no mention of cryptocurrencies in Turkish law. Buying and selling crypto is legal in Turkey. The use of cryptocurrencies can be considered legal since our law contains no prohibition buying and selling with cryptocurrencies and creating money through Bitcoin mining, and not within the scope of criminal activity in Turkey today. The report adds that crypto regulation is definitely needed in Turkey to prevent money laundering and fraud, and that the creation of a government-controlled Bitcoin bourse is one way to do so. Venezuela's petro has also seen some critics as solely a way for the country to avoid the Western sanctions imposed by the country. Iran is also currently facing international sanctions. The petro is not the first government-backed cryptocurrency to be launched. The local government in Dubai launched state-backed Mcash in October 2017. And in 2017, Kazakhstan, Japan, and Estonia have all consider the possibilities of releasing their own government-backed cryptocurrency. Let me know your thoughts. Interesting story. Let's get on to the next segment of the show.
Top Twitter tweet of the day.
Top Twitter tweet today goes to Joseph Young, and you can go follow him at Joseph Young, and here's the tweet. Tron was worth $19 billion in January. This is similar to the valuation of SpaceX at $21 billion, a company that literally sent an electric car to space. Let that sink in. Great tweet. I love his content. We support his content, SVK Crypto. The second tweet today goes to Max Kaiser. And his tweet is a question and then a kind of a Q&A, kind of an answering, kind of a stat. So let's jump in. So which of these state-sponsored cryptos has the best chance of working? Venezuela, Iran, Turkey, or North Korea? Venezuela won by 28%. Iran came third at 23%. The next is Turkey, which came second at 26%. And North Korea was last at 23%. So how much, the question is really, when did North Korea going to launch their own cryptocurrency? So time will tell on that one. Let's get on to the next part of the show.
SVK's current global crypto view.
I think it's very important to talk about the ICO market. It's something that is always been spoken about. So I thought I would take a few minutes to give you our 2 cents on what's been happening in the market and the dislocation we've been seeing with the general market and the ICO market, because we've seen the market trading down. We've seen volume coming out of the market. We've seen the market cap decreasing. But one thing we're seeing, the ICO market staying strong, which is very interesting to see. 2 months ago, 3 months ago, Telegram was a really good indicator to see how interesting or how quote-unquote hot a deal was for a crowd sale type participant. That's changed. Deals of, let's say back 3 months ago, 20,000 people on Telegram was huge. It was like, wow, there's so many people there, so many people backing this project. It's going to be huge. They've got a huge community. 20,000 people, even 60,000 on the project now is not a clear indicator of how real the community is. And most of it's full of FUD of people posting pictures of Lambos and saying they're going to the moon. The actual community, the guys who spread the word of the project, do a lot of work behind the scenes and spread the good word of the project as well. And that's something that is still happening, but it's not happening on these kind of these flipping opportunities that people think they're doing. And that's kind of what this isn't about. It's about being able to get in on early technology and be part of something special, something that could potentially change the world. And I think it's really clear that a lot of people who are just chasing money, they're ending up in situations now where that doesn't come to fruition because, you know, their indication isn't on the team. It isn't on what they're doing for the space. It isn't on, you know, what is this project actually something real, and can it impact it? Does it add value? These key things, I think, are the things that people need to start focusing on again. And that's the things that you need to kind of have in your mindset. Something really interesting as well is just going back to the basics. Infrastructure plays. You know, when are they going to launch the mainnet? Can they execute on that? When's this going to happen? Is it going to be in years' time? Is it going to be next week? Is it going to be in 2 weeks? Like, when does this happen? How are they going to do it? Who's coding it? Can we check the code? How are we going to check the code? Go into GitHub. You know, it's a great tool to check to check the code. You know, another question is, what's the next blockchain? It's going to be something that's scalable. That's very important. Scalability is definitely a key focus for a lot of these guys at the minute. And this is something that should be your focus if you're interested in participating in early stage projects and something that's going to add value to the community. Decentralized exchanges, huge sector that I believe everyone should be focusing on. Privacy, another key sector. Stable coins, another key sector to take your capital take your crypto out of the market, out of the volatility. These are the key things that people need to be focusing on, and focusing how they can add value. How can you help the community? You know, you have to be an active person on Telegram, helping people out if anyone has a question. I think these are the key things that people need to start focusing back on. Reading white papers. Something I mean, I've met people who claim to be ICO quote unquote traders who's never read a white paper. I kid you not. So these are the kind of things that I think that are key to being successful and being part of something special. That's my 2 cents. That's a wrap. I got to bounce. Have a phenomenal weekend. And we'll be back Monday with a great podcast. So stay tuned and have a phenomenal weekend. As always, remember to tweet us at SVK_crypto. Email myself, Storry, CSTORRY at svkcrypto.com. And hit us up on Telegram. SVK Crowd, one word. Hit us up. We look forward to hearing from everyone, all the listeners out there. Have a great day and have a great weekend.
You've been listening to an SVK Crypto podcast original. Follow us on Twitter at SVK_crypto. Email us on cstorry at svkcrypto.com. Leave us a message on our website, www.svkcrypto.com.